what's up everybody? It's your boy Mood616 here, and it is update time. So this is going to be everything that I've accumulated over the month of January. I believe as I'm recording this it's February 5th. So yeah, and in this update it's going to be a VHS, DVD, Blu-ray. Yes, I got some VHS to show off. I generally don't buy VHS, but I couldn't pass this lot up because I have a buddy that runs like a secondhand store, and I guess some dude dropped off like a shitload of VHS. I went through them. He actually held them off to the side for me because he knew I'd be coming in soon. And so he gave me the first pick on these, and he even knew that he's like, some of these I could sell for quite a bit on eBay because, you know, just the prices that some of them were going for. But he's like, you know what, I want you to have them because you're a collector. And the thing was, some of these have never been released on DVD, so that was a total bonus. And I like to find VHSs that have never been released on DVD or Blu-ray, so that was a fucking bonus, man. Like, really good deal. I paid about $2 each for them, which I'm fine with. You know, I know people find them cheaper, but the thing is, around here, you never find VHS like this. So it was a real big score to pay $28 for 14 VHSs. But Char's, I guess, Ale of the Week. It's an IPA, Alexander Keys. I'm only drinking this. I generally don't even drink Alexander Keys because it was in the fridge left over from Super Bowl. But yeah, Char's. I actually just picked up a bunch of beer, but it was warm, so I gotta chill it. Alright, first up, this one's actually in my VCR right now, and I was happy as hell to find this because this has never been released on DVD. So stoked. And that is The Uncanny. This is an anthology film from the late 70s, I believe, like 70... I want to say 77 or 76 or something. Anthology film involving cats and shit. Is really, really cool. Yeah, fantastic find. This one goes for a little bit of cash. So that was really cool. If I don't really care about that, I just wanted the film. So, but yeah, The Uncanny. Pretty cool score. I think this one right here, it definitely has an Australian release because it's an Australian flick, but I don't think it has an official, or maybe it does have an official DVD release in Region 1, but it's out of print, or I could be wrong. I can't remember what it is. There is a reason why I don't have it, and that is Dark Age. It's a fantastic croc film from Australia. Really, really great stuff, man. Awesome flick, but I'm just a score on this one, man. You know, $2, fuck. Can't beat that shit. Now, I grabbed this one. I know this is on DVD. I only grabbed it because it was there. And I didn't have it on DVD, so I was like, fuck it. I'll just pick it up, man, whatever. I believe it's from the 90s. And it's called Skeeter. Yeah. It's not... This would have been super badass if it was fucking Mosquito. But I only grabbed it just because. Now, this one made me laugh. I had to grab it just because of the title. I believe this does have a DVD release, but it goes for stupid money. And this one is called The Navy vs. the Night Monsters. Paragon VHS. Yeah, the title alone had me right there. I was like, okay, I have to grab this, but that's pretty cool. But yeah, apparently the DVD goes for stupid cash. Next up here is Monster. Grab this. John Carradine's, of course, in this one. Fun little monster flick, creature feature. Yeah, it's cheesy as fuck, but that was cool. I grabbed this one. I have this actually on DVD, but I wanted to grab it just because it was there. I couldn't leave it. So, released by Lightning Video, and that's Alligator. This is an awesome flick, man. I love it. I haven't checked out this VHS yet, but I don't know. Maybe one day I'll watch it for... yeah, really cool stuff, man. Lightning Video. Just brings back memories. Really cool stuff. And then we got one here from Cult Video, and this is the Australian film again, I believe. And that is Thirst, which I actually have a couple copies of this on DVD already, and now VHS. I know it's been released on Blu-ray recently from Severin, but I didn't bother to upgrade. I actually downgraded, apparently. No, I just wanted just because. That was pretty cool. Oh man, the next ones are really cool. Now from Media, I was super stoked to find this in such great shape. It still actually has the bottom on it, and that is Blood Beach. Now, this movie doesn't actually have a Region 1 release. I have the German import DVD of it. But, yeah, super cool find to find Blood Beach in really, really good shape, too. Fucking awesome stuff. Still has the bottom. It's crazy. I always said, if, you know, I'm not really a fan of, like, remaking films unless they kind of need a remake. I said in a video one time, this is the film that I picked that I wanted to see a remake from. I like the premise of this movie. I think it's just executed kind of poorly. But it could be a lot better. Remaking Blood Beach, I think, could be kind of cool. And this was, honestly, I think the find, well, kind of the find of a lot. This has been released by Code Red. It's been out of print for a long time, and again, still has the bottom on it, which is fantastic, and that's Slithis. This movie is fantastic. Great creature feature. I was really astounded at the quality on this too. It actually looked pretty good. The film is dark in itself, so it does, it looks like VHS because it's really dark. But cool flick, man, really cool flick. I've wanted this DVD from Code Red for so long, but to find this is just a score, and it does sell for pretty good money. This media release, so which was cool. I think this one might be the find of the lot. I've seen this one sell for stupid cash. It's one of the only Godzilla films that's never been released on DVD for some weird reason. And that is Godzilla 1985. The stupid 99-cent sticker on there, but whatever, it's kind of cool, even though it's very generic. But yeah, I was super happy to find this because, like I said, it was one of the only Godzilla films I was missing from my collection. It doesn't have a DVD release, and I've seen this thing go for like 60, 70 bucks, and I was like, fuck, crazy. But for $2, I can't pass it up. I know on eBay it's been going for, actually pretty decent prices, I guess, for out-of-print VHS, out-of-print VHS. Everything's out of print. But yeah, 20, 30 bucks or whatever. But Godzilla, this one right here, I believe has a burn-on-demand release. Not release, but it doesn't actually have official release, and that's Beaks, the movie. I grabbed this because this is just a blatant Birds ripoff. It's so funny. I love that Beaks, the movie. That's fantastic stuff right there. Really cool stuff. Yeah, I couldn't pass that up, man. I've never seen it. Next up is a film that I grabbed just because I remember I've seen this movie before. I came to the realization I've seen it, but I grabbed it because Mark Hamill was in it. It's like a sci-fi type horror film or whatever, and that's The Guyver. I've definitely seen this before. I just haven't seen it in a long time. So, really, really good shape too. Tape is like pristine. So. Yeah, cool stuff with The Guyver. And then, of course, they had the sequel there, which is Guyver 2, which, I couldn't leave there, I don't think I've seen the sequel before, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. And last up for the VHS is going to be a non-horror film, but this is a fun-ass exploitation flick. I haven't seen it in years, but, I couldn't leave it there, released by Wizard Video, and that is Fox Force. This is a pretty cool one, actually. I don't really remember it too well, but I know I've seen it. But yeah, released by Wizard Video, I just had to grab it. So, with this stupid generic 99-cent sticker on there. Fucking that's stupid. So yeah, so that's going to do it for the VHS. Let's get into the DVDs. Yeah. Alrighty, so I said in my last update that I wasn't going to have like a huge-ass update this time. I'm such an idiot. I always underestimate my abilities to hoard up. And of course I made an order to oldies.com. I ranted about it in my vlog video. It's because it took like 22 days to get here. It's just, I don't understand why it takes so long. Yeah, so I got a box here that I got from Oldies, and I still have them all in here because it's just easier to have them in here. But yeah, let's get right into what I picked up in here. Let's rip through this. Just a lot of really cheap stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, first up here from, there's a few non-horror titles and stuff in here, but for $1 or $2, I think pretty much every Troma flick in here was under $2 that I grabbed. So, first off is the Dennis Woodruff collection, 2 DVDs. I actually have seen one of his films before, and I really want to check this out. I think it was literally like $1 or something. It's so cheap, so I couldn't pass it up. So there's that one right there. Next up here is Shakespeare In and Out. I collect Troma releases, so I couldn't pass these up for so fucking cheap. Next up here is Lust for Freedom. This one actually looks like it's going to be an animated film, but it's totally not. But yeah, really weird cover for that one. Like I said, if anything there's I don't have, I'll just grab. The Best of Crampson Villas. This just looks ridiculous. I think it's like puppet stuff. I can't, I've never seen this before. Looks pretty interesting. Next up here, we got Twisted Justice. I've actually had my eye on this one for a long time. I always pass it over, but this cast though: Shannon Tweed, Karen Black, Jim Brown, Eric Estrada, and David Hebner. That fucking cast is amazing. You just can't get any cheesier than that. Next up here is a Gillespie Andrews film, and it's Touch Me in the Morning. That's when I like to be touched also. Yeah, Touch Me in the Morning. It actually sounds intriguing. Next up here we got Fortress of America. Yeah, so awesome. Pretty awesome stuff. I don't know. It looks pretty bad actually. Next up here is apparently Dustin Hoffman's first starring role, Madigan Millions. So it's just a fucking oddball release by Troma. And then next up here we got Vendetta, which I'm really surprised I didn't have this one. I believe this is a revenge film, hence Vendetta. It's pretty much what it means. Low budget stuff. I swear this one's from the 90s too, which 90s films always intrigue me sometimes. Then we got Cybernator and The Digital Prophet, Troma's sci-fi double feature. Yeah, just more shit to add to the collection, right? Taking up fucking shelf space, aren't you? Then next up we got Killin' Twice. This one finally went down in price. It was like $2. So I think this is kind of like a revenge film also. Some shit like that. Yeah, I don't know. Killin' Twice. Then we've got Scarlet Moon. I've actually been after this one for a long time. I finally just grabbed it. I think it's been cheap for a long time, like a couple bucks. So this one actually looks pretty damn cool. I've seen the trailer for that actually. And then we've got I believe this is a Italian film, or yeah, I think it's an Italian film called Medley. It's like a zombie type thing. Yeah, something rather. I don't know. But a director's cut in Italian. There we go. Medley. Then, of course, we have Pterodactyl Women from Beverly Hills. Yeah, that looks so fucking bad. Like, seriously, why am I buying this shit? Because it's Troma. Because I'm an idiot. Then next up here, we've got one that I've actually been curious about. It actually looks pretty good, actually, to be honest. It's got Paul Naschy in it and Fred Williamson, which is very cool, and that is State of Mind. Yeah, just seeing Paul Naschy's name on it just surprised me. I think it's like kind of like an action. I don't really know what it is, but yeah, that one looked interesting. And then we've got a French anthology film called Open 24/7. I actually did watch this, hence it being open. Fuck man, the first short in this was really fucking good. I thought it was fantastic. As for the other two shorts, I thought were really shitty, man. It just went right downhill. The second one was like really, I believe it was super comical, if I remember correctly. And then the third one was just really weird. Like, oh man, I found the comic, like it was kind of like a fairy tale type story with like almost like, you know, Looney Tunes sounds. Oh, it was bad, man. It was really stupid. But you know, it's like these 3 shorts were filmed opposite and then put together for this anthology because the tones were changing so drastically. And it's one of those settings where people are telling stories in a diner, you know, about horror, cannibalism, sex, and violence. But the first story was fantastic about lesbian cannibals. It was great sex scene, hot lesbians, and penis chopping. It was good. The first short was really good, but the rest of it was just, wow, it really fell off hardcore. It's kind of a shame. Then we got Story of a Junkie. It's a documentary about, you know, following this guy is actually like a real junkie. I've heard good things about this, so I'm really curious to check that out. Sounds pretty cool. And last up for the Tromas is All the Love for You Cans. Obviously, this is... I don't know if it's a documentary or if it's just following things at the Cannes Festival. I'm not 100% sure, but whatever. I grabbed it. It was super cheap. Then I got a couple of Elite titles here, and I've been after this one for a long time, and it was only $4.95, I believe. And that's Flesh Eating Mothers. I've wanted to see this forever. It just looks really damn cool. Kind of on your lines. It's, you know, obviously like a comedy cannibal type film, but cult action comedy, I don't know. But yeah, that one looks really damn cool. And then we've got The Janitor, also from Elite. This is another one I've been wanting to check out for a long time, from 2005. For some reason, I always thought this movie came out like a long time ago, but I guess it's 10 years now. But yeah, The Janitor, that one looks pretty damn cool. Then from Shriek Show, this fucking case is actually, the inside's broken. The next few are from Shriek Show, and that's Bad Inclination. This one fucking looks actually kind of cool. I think I've heard mixed reviews on this one, but it looks pretty decent. Then we've got Bio Slime from Shriek Show, and I have to say, man, that this movie was actually pretty fucking badass. My boy Matt did a review on Body Bags a couple weeks back, and I'd already had this on a list to get, but it really piqued my interest. I was like, wow, you know, really good effects in this. It's kind of a contained horror film. A bunch of people that are kind of stuck in a room, and this bio kind of chemical creature thing has been released from this case, and basically what it's doing is it's kind of absorbing people and creating, you know, this monster from people and stuff. It's kind of cool, man. I thought this was really well executed, and I'd like to see a sequel to this, actually. Good film. Next up here is Creatures from the Abyss. I have seen this movie, but it's been so long since I've seen it, I cannot remember it for the life of me. But, you know, another cheap Shriek Show pickup. And, nope, not last up. And then we got Killer's Delight. This one's been on my wish list for so long. I've been wanting to get this forever. From the 70s. Yeah, this one actually looks really damn good. And then last up for the Shriek Shows is My Pure Joy. Now, I've heard mixed things about this one, but I really wanted to check it out for myself. It sounds a little intriguing, so, but, you know, and... Okay, last up from the oldies order is going to be a Synapse release, what I've had this one on a list to get for a long time too, and it was dirt ass cheap too, and that's Sininger. I finally got this fucking thing, man. Been slowly picking away at my Synapse releases. The collection is getting quite big, but yeah, very cool stuff. I believe this is the sequel to, the fuck is the name of the original film? I can't remember. Someone fill me in on that. Can't remember. Which has never been released on DVD, which is unfortunate. So, but yeah. So, that is going to do it for the oldies DVDs. Yeah. Alright, so, just to mix things up a little bit, I'm going to show off the box sets that I got right now. So, first up here, I got one from Severin. Finally got my fucking hands on this. Now, I've been wanting to buy these releases individually, but they're going for, like, you know, too much money, like $20, $25 a piece. I'm like, fuck that. And then I saw the collection for $30 total. And I was like, well, I gotta jump on that. So, thank you, Amazon. And that is the Euro Sleaze collection. Really, you know, I love my box sets. Had to grab this. Now, this one contains Hannah D, which I believe is a... It's like a French-Italian kind of film. Really cool stuff. Been wanting to see this one forever. Then we've got, it says this one's from Denmark, The Sinful Dwarf. Now, this isn't the XXX version, which I eventually might get down the road, but I'm really, really fine with this for now. I mean, just to have hardcore sex in there, I mean, fuck, I can go look up, you know, 2-8 anytime and go jerk off to that shit. But yeah, The Sinful Dwarf, yeah, looking forward to checking out that. And of course, the box cover is The Sister of Ursula, which I believe is an Italian film. Yeah, so I'm really, really stoked to check out all these flicks, man. Just haven't gotten around to them. These type of movies I like to, you know, sit down and pay attention to. Not that I don't pay attention to all the other films, but anyways... I've been collecting these Rare Flicks box sets. I grabbed Volume 2 and 4, and I just ordered Volume 1 and 3. Volume 1 came in, Volume 3 is not here yet, and that is, yeah, this is Volume 1. This one is consisting of Posed for Murder, The Disturbance, and Death Collector. So, here's the flicks in here. Posed for Murder. Now, this one actually looks pretty damn cool. I'm really liking these collections, man. I'm getting them for super cheap. Then next up here we got Death Collector, which actually looks pretty cheesy. I actually popped this in the other day. I watched about the first 10 minutes and I got sidetracked, and I ended up watching something else. So I only seen like the first 10 minutes. It looked cheesy. And last up here is The Disturbance, which I actually did watch in full. It was a pretty interesting flick from the early 90s, I believe, 93 or 2 or something like that, or 1990. It was an interesting kind of character study of a dude that's going crazy, gets his girlfriend, and they break up when he's kind of going batshit crazy, killing women in different ways and stuff. It was actually pretty interesting. It's just low budget, but it wasn't bad. And then next up here, there's a box that I've been wanting forever. I finally got my fucking hands on this for actually a really good price. I think I paid $22 total for it. And I've seen this thing going for stupid money because it's out of print, and it's a Kino box set. And that's Takashi Miike's Dead or Alive trilogy. So really fucking stoked to have this. Just fantastic, fantastic find. Dead or Alive, which is just an awesome, awesome film. This has such a great beginning to it. Like, oh man, the beginning of this film, if it doesn't suck you in, I don't know what the fuck won't, but this is awesome. Really good flick. Dead or Alive 2, which I haven't watched yet, which I've heard isn't as good. I think these things actually, the quality gets worse as they go along. And Dead Alive Final, so Dead or Alive 3. So yeah, I'm really stoked to have this one finally in the collection. Been after this for so long, but yeah, good shit. And the find of the update by fucking far is this one right here. I've been searching for this for months and months and months. Probably a couple years now, and I couldn't really find anywhere that was selling this thing. Like, I would search Amazon, I would search like eBay's, everywhere. No one ever had any copies, and when I did find one, it was super expensive. Like, Amazon.ca has one right now for about $404, which of course is just outrageous. No one's ever gonna fucking pay that. And I would always check Second Spin and all these other places I buy from. And by chance one day they actually had one on there, and it was fucking $44. Minus 20%, so I think I got it for, what, 34 or whatever. I think it was 34 total, or 30. I can't remember. It was like 30 or 34. And I almost shit my fucking pants. Now, when I first ordered it, I didn't think I was actually going to get the right set because it just seemed too good to be true. And lo and behold, it actually did come, and that is the Takashi Miike set, Omnibus. Omnibus. I fucking hate that word. Omnibus. But yeah, this is really fucking cool, man. Like, 8 films in here, which is just fantastic. Actually, I haven't got to any of these yet. Oshikoshika Tough Guys is one of them right there. Then we've got Young Thugs. Right there. Then we've got Young Thugs Innocent Blood, which is, I'm assuming, the sequel. I'm not sure which order these go in here, but these are probably out of order. And that is, this is the fucking Black Society trilogy. And then you got Sendoku Triad Society. I can't remember if this is... Yeah, this is the first one, okay. So that's the first one. The Rainy Dog, I believe, is the second one. I can't wait to watch these, actually. And then Ley Lines, which is the third one in the Black Society trilogy. So that's fucking badass. Then we got Sambu, which is fucking awesome. And we've got Full Metal Yakuza. So that's the last up for the Takashi Miike films. So that is one excellent set. Like, really good quality cases in the clear, boxes in great shape. All these things were fucking pristine. Like, it seemed like they hadn't even been played. Like, the wrapper had been taken off. The discs were actually hard to get out. Really interesting find for the price. I couldn't fucking believe I couldn't believe it when I found it on there for this price. It just really blew my mind. So gotta say Gia to that, and Chars. Oh, Gia. Alright, so moving along, I guess we'll get into the DVDs now. Gia. Oh yeah, DVD time. The regular, well, not regular DVDs, but, you know, the ones that aren't part of the oldies order. Anyways, let's get right into this. Grab this one at HMV. I generally never see the Grindhouse collection films there, so I had to grab this one. And it's actually a film I've been wanting to check out for a long time. It's an Italian film that goes under a different title. Full Moon Grindhouse released it under The Possessor, but I think it goes by The Return of the Exorcist or some shit like that. I don't know. But yeah, they released it under The Possessor. You know, these things are just, you know, VHS quality, not the greatest and stuff. But this film actually wasn't that bad. It was kind of an interestingly weird premise about this dude that finds this amulet type thing. He opens it up, and he ends up getting possessed by the spirit of this, actually this really hot chick. Anyways, she kind of like transforms him into this weird killer. People start dying around him. And of course he's responsible, but like, it's kind of weird. It kind of like sex changes him, turns him into a woman at times. It's fucking weird, man. Really weird shit. And of course you have like the whole exorcism stuff with the priest and where the ripoff of The Exorcist comes from. But this was actually not a bad watch, I have to say. It was pretty entertaining. Different. Kind of cool. Rip-off, but different at the same time. It was kind of weird. Then we grabbed Naked Massacre. We grabbed... Who the fuck is we? I grabbed Naked Massacre. This is one that's just... I've had my eye on for a long time. It's based on the Richard Speck murders. I believe he was a serial killer from Chicago, I believe. I've never really seen anything but documentaries on Richard Speck, so I'm curious to check out some films. Maybe I have seen films. I think I have, actually. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to Naked Massacre. A couple titles here from Raro Video I picked up. Yeah, this is not a horror film, but Gang War in Milan, directed by Umberto Lenzi, so that'll catch people's attention. Still sealed, I haven't checked it out yet, but it's Umberto Lenzi, so I had to grab it. Plus, I'm loving Raro Video right now. They're doing a great job. I showed this one in an unboxing from Jeremy, but I thought it's in here, so show it again, and that's Madness. And I actually watched this since. This one's kind of has the same type of premises, like, you know, the house on the edge of the park type deal, about this trio, this married couple, along with their sister, the girl's sister. They go out to like their country home for like a vacation type deal. This escaped convict has made his way there. He's escaped prison, and he's made his way there because he's actually stashed a bunch of money. And then of course he invades the house and crazy shit goes down. A lot of sex, nudity, and just I was hoping this was going to be a little better. I was actually quite disappointed with it. I think that some of the scenes and some of the direction, I think they just didn't really, they didn't execute. I think I was expecting it to be a little more extreme. I felt like the build-up really wasn't there, and it was actually fucking super predictable. I kind of predicted exactly what was going to happen. I have to say, this cover is like really misleading too. There's no fucking knife in this movie. What the hell is Raro doing? But yeah, I don't know. Lots of fucking nudity. Lots of tons of nudity. Actually, the sister in this film, she's actually from Last House on the House on the Edge of the Park, and I believe from Cannibal Ferox too, actually. So she's very recognizable. But yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. It's just kind of misleading, just predictable a little bit. And next up here is Thomas Milan in Young, Violent, and Dangerous. I had to grab this. Thomas Milan, that sold me right there. I'll grab anything with Thomas Milan in it. Tomas Milani, however the fuck you want to say his name. But yeah, this one looks pretty cool. I'm not even going to attempt to say the director's name because, yeah, I always butcher the shit out of Italian directors. Next up here, I grabbed from Hollywood Video for like dirt cheap, and that's Girls Gone Dead. I haven't watched it yet, but I've had my eye on this one. It just looks retarded, stupid fun, so Girl Gone Dead. Triple feature Trauma. I grabbed this because I've actually been after this for a long time. It's got 3 films that I don't believe have single releases at all. And I've heard Blades was always good, and so I grabbed this since Trauma Triple Beheader, Blades Bloodhook, and Zombie Island Massacre. Now, I watched Blades. Fun fucking movie about a giant killer lawnmower. You know what you're going to get with that. It was actually really fun and entertaining, though. I also watched Bloodhook. Bloodhook was funny as shit, too. Not as good as Blades, but it was funny. Basically about a giant fish hook killing people on the water. It's fucking stupid. Zombie Island Massacre, I've heard it's pretty shitty, but this was a fun triple feature, I have to say, man. Like, they even have their own menus and shit, too. Like, that surprised me. You know, that was interesting, but I highly recommend this for Blades. It was fun as fuck, man. Next up here is a Shaw Brothers film released by Image, and it is called Black Magic. I've actually had this one on in my Amazon cart for so long, and I finally grabbed this from Second Spin. I didn't even grab it from Amazon. I actually found it for dirt cheap. I think it was only $4 or something, so I thought that was a good price, because I never see these things like, you know, for secondhand, these Shaw Brother films and stuff, and so I came across it and I was like, well, fuck, I gotta grab that. So that looks pretty cool. Next up here is another Shriek Show release, and that is Blood of the Zombie. Now, I heard this movie is complete and absolute shit, but I've been curious about this one for years. I've wanted to check it out, just for the reason alone. A lot of people say it is like one of the worst films ever. I don't know about that. I'll be the judge of that, but you know, but I don't know. Blood of the Zombie. It's weird release for Shriek Show. Next up here is Zombie Hunter Rika, released by Switchblade Pictures. Now, this, I believe, is the first part, The Undead. This is the insane follow-up to Attack Girls Swim Team. So I actually reviewed that movie one time on Body Bags. So I'm looking forward to watching this one. I believe it does say it's a trilogy. Now, what's the other one? It doesn't actually say what the third one is, but I think I actually have it in the collection too. So yeah, that's awesome. Attack Girls Swim Team versus The Undead was batshit fucking stupid fun. So this is gonna be awesome. Next up is the sequel to Astro Zombies, which I still need to grab Astro Zombies. I just keep putting it off, and that's Ted V. Michaels' film, Mark of the Astro Zombies. I grabbed this because it was like $2, so I still need to get my hands on the other. The other one's readily available. You can get it for dirt cheap. So, yeah, and then I'll have to grab 3 and 4 because there is 4 of these. So, being curious, I've never seen the sequels. I've seen Astro Zombies before. And now this was an awesome find, man. You know, I was really stoked to actually find this for super cheap, and that is Hair Extensions. Now, my buddy Derek on my group page actually posted about this movie the exact day I actually ordered this film. It was really bizarre because I really don't hear a lot of people talk about this one. I've heard it recommended a few times to me, but not a lot of people show it. But I heard it's, yeah, really kind of batshit crazy fun. So Hair Extensions, that was pretty cool. One I've been after for a long time. Again, I've had it in my Amazon cart forever. I finally pulled the trigger, on this one, and that is The Centerfold Girls. Been curious about this film. It's from the early 70s, 1974, I believe, or something like that, or 75. I don't know. But yeah, this one just looks really cool, man. Kind of a, you know, slasher type film. I know my man Jugcord did a review on this one recently, but I haven't checked out the review because I want to watch the movie before I watch his review. So, but yeah, The Centerfold Girls looks super cool from Dark Sky Films. And yes, I've been after this one for a while too, and I finally grabbed it. I actually bought it on Amazon. I got it for, I think, it was cheap, man, like $3.20 or something like that. And that is One-Eyed Monster. This one is basically about Ron Jeremy's penis going around killing people. So his penis is acting as a slasher. Fuck, you can't get any better than that. I mean, really, that just sounds ridiculous. But yeah, One-Eyed Monster, killer penis action. Fuck yeah. Next up here is a serial killer film that I originally was going to do on Body Bags for Serial Killer Week because I was filling in for Steve. And I ultimately ended up doing 2 Jeffrey Dahmer films instead because Jeffrey Dahmer I find is so fascinating. But I have been wanting to check this out, and I've heard pretty good things about this one, actually, surprisingly. And it's very... The cover art to this is exactly like the Jeremy Renner version of Dahmer, and that's Ted Bundy. It's like the same cover. It's fucking kind of funny. I think it's even the same company that put them out. So, but yeah, I've heard pretty good things about this one, so I don't know. I want to check it out. Next up here, another film from Dark Sky Films, which I grabbed used, and it came, as you can see, used, and it came factory sealed, which I love when that happens, and that is Tragic Ceremony. Been after this one for a long time, actually. Yeah, I think this is Camille Keaton's in this film, which is super cool. But yeah, I've been after this one for a while, so finally got my hands on that. And I grabbed the DVD of this because it was like $2 at my buddy's shop, and I was like, why not? I haven't seen it yet still, and that's Insidious 2, you know, I like the first film. I heard this one isn't as good, but I am curious to check it out. I just need to give it a spin sometime soon anyways. But yeah, Insidious 2. Alright, getting into some films I've actually watched. This one right here is from the director that did Evil Ed. And it's called Insane. Now, Jeremy sent me this one as a throw-in with the package, and because I've been after this one for so long. Basically about a girl that, after her sister goes missing on her road trip, decides to go and find her, ends up at the same hotel that her sister was last seen at. Actually, that wasn't even last seen at. Her sister goes to the same hotel and then eventually finds out that her sister was there. Some crazy shit starts going down. This movie wasn't bad. You know, it definitely had its moments. It's not as gory as Evil Ed, because Evil Ed's pretty fucking gory. But it does have its moments. I thought the twists and turns were kind of predictable a little bit. But, you know, overall, I thought it was actually a really fun watch. I like anything that takes place in hotels and, you know, that type of slasher thing. It does have twists and turns and all that type of bullshit, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Next up here is one I've been after for a long time. I finally got around to seeing it, and that's Family Portraits, a trilogy of America. These are 3 shorts done by the same director, and this is some really, really ominous, dark, bleak, depressing, yourself type film, man. Wow, is this thing ever bleak and depressing and just really to the point, you know, like 3 shorts, it runs about 106 minutes, and yeah, they're pretty bleak. I don't want to get into the shorts at all, but, you know, because it's hard to talk about shorts without giving them away. But yeah, this is some crazy shit right here. I really fucking enjoyed this. If you like kind of slow, depressing, bleak, like I said, all those adjectives that I used, this is awesome. You know, if you can find this for a good price, I know it goes for stupid money. Unfortunately, mine came with a little fucking thing there. But, you know, whatever. I'm just glad to have it. So, Douglas Buck did these shorts. This is awesome. I really highly recommend this. This was great stuff. Next up from Shameless, finally pulled the trigger on this one. I had to pay like $12 for it. I was so pissed. But I think that's still a pretty good deal for it, because I've been after this one forever. I wanted to get this for my 1988 series, my 52 horrific series. And I never did get around to it because I was being cheap all year, and I'm not fucking paying the money for it. And I finally did, and that's Amsterdam from Shameless. I got it on Amazon.ca for a pretty good price. You know, $12 isn't bad. So, you know, it's better than paying, you know, in pounds, because it'd be a lot more with shipping and stuff. So, Amsterdam, very interesting type, you know, slasher flick, man. It's got a pretty cool premise. I like the fact that this killer is like underwater, and that's like how he gets away and shit. He's like a scuba diver. I love that premise. I think it's so fucking fascinating. Some really good action sequences, great boat chase in this. Highly recommend this movie, man. You know, for a film that's almost roughly 2 hours, 109 minutes, it goes by pretty damn quick. There's some pretty cool sequences. I watched all the special features on here on how they did the boat chases, and even the actors got hurt while doing those things, and how they did like their sewer scenes. They kind of recreated them because they were too narrow in Amsterdam. Really interesting watch. I highly recommend Amsterdam. This was a good fucking movie. Good shit. And I finally got my fucking hands on this movie. I've been putting this off for years. I don't know why. I remember seeing it way back in the day and loving it. I haven't watched it since, until last week I watched it. And that's Steven Spielberg's Duel. Now, this is one of my favorite Spielberg films by far. This movie is fantastic. For his directorial debut, I think this is just a great fucking movie. Fantastic stuff right here. Really great sequences. It's terrifying. You know, if this actually happened to you, you'd be terrified. But yeah, really great road horror film. If you've never seen Duel, oh, check it out. Great stuff. Next up here is a documentary. I finally got around to getting. I know it's been out since 2009, and I'm a big fan of Troll 2. I love the movie. I think it's just a great piece of shitty cinema, and that is Best Worst Movie. This is a good documentary. It really does showcase, and I like the fact that, you know, everyone came back. They got pretty much everybody, you know, to follow around and do all this stuff, and yeah, it was interesting. It was a good watch. I have to say, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was fantastic. It's actually quite crazy, the following that Troll 2 does have. I think it's so funny when they go to the UK and like nobody knows what the fuck Troll 2 is. That just cracked me up. But yeah, good documentary. Really good fun. And then I actually watched these back to back one day. I was in a documentary type mood, and that's Herschel Gordon Lewis, The Godfather of Gore, directed by Frank Henenlotter, which is super cool. I learned a lot watching this documentary, I have to say. I knew a fair amount about Herschel Gordon Lewis, but it's really interesting, you know, talking about the history of his filmmaking and how his films became about, and just low budget shit, exploitation type fucking, you know, type films, and I have so much respect for somebody like Herschel Gordon Lewis. You know, he just did what he wanted to do and really showed in this. And you can tell that he's a genuinely really fucking nice guy. Like, he's just a really down-to-earth type guy. And he really still is. He's old, but he's not grumpy and shit. Awesome. This is a great documentary. I highly recommend it. Next up here is The Secret Life of Jeffrey Dahmer, released by Intervision. This one right here I reviewed on my day on Sunday a couple weeks ago on Serial Killer Week. So if you want to check out the review, I went on for about 11 minutes. This is very interesting. It's the kind of like the gorier version of the other Dahmer film that I did. This one kind of showcases his murders like in chronological order. It's not bad. It's low budget. The acting is a little shoddy at times, but it is very intriguing. I enjoyed it. It was good stuff. And the other Dahmer film I did, starring Jeremy Renner as Dahmer. This was a different look. It kind of it gets into more of the psyche. It's not very gory. So two totally different type version films of Jeffrey Dahmer, and I recommend them both. They were really both good. I got to check out the other ones. I know there's two more. There's one that focuses like on his as a kid, and then there's the Jeffrey Dahmer Files. So I need to check those ones out because, you know, these were a good start to the Dahmer collection. But yeah, this was good. Jeremy Renner did a great job in this, and there's some pretty cool sequences, and, you know, it's still bleak though. It's still bleak without all the gore, so yeah. And then from Synapse Films, I grabbed Volume 5 of the 42nd Street Forever, you know, trailer compilations. Now I just need Volume 3 and 4, because I have the Blu-ray, which is essentially Volume 1 and 2 plus more. So I need 3, 4, and that the porno one I'm going to grab too. But this is fucking awesome. I was playing poker here a couple weeks ago, threw this on in the background, and everyone was having a blast just kind of checking it out. Every time, my one buddy, every time he looked over, there was tits and muff on the screen. He was just laughing. He's like, "These are real trailers?" I'm like, "Yep." Grindhouse trailers. But yeah, fucking fun ass watch. I really highly recommend this series. Great trailers. Oh, great stuff. Next up here from Wild Eye, I believe, put this out, and it really sucks I didn't get a chance to see this before the 2014 year was over, because this would have made my top 30. I enjoyed it that much, and that's High 8, Horror Independent 8. Basically 8 shorts directed by, you know, semi-famous or whatever, famous to us, shot on video guys, mostly from the 80s, some newer guys haven't really done much, but you know, there's like everyone's on here, man. You got fucking Chris Seaver, Todd Sheets, of course, Donald Farmer, Brad Sykes, Marcus Koch. You know, like these names that we really do know. And, you know, I really liked every short on here. I think except for Chris Seaver's, I thought was kind of shitty, but yeah, this was really fucking well done. You know, like, you know, if you're not a fan of shot on video, this is like way better quality type shot on video, but really good shorts. It was very surprising and very entertaining. Flew by. Great, you know, the wraparound stories in between every segment and stuff. Really cool stuff. Next up here is another documentary that I watched, and this one is called Hanging Shadows. This is a Italian perspective in Italian horror cinema. Of course, you got featuring Dario Argento, Lamberto Bava, Michelle Sovier, Ruggero Deodato, Sergio Silvanti, and a bunch of other guys are on this too. Lucio Cosi, like just talking about Italian cinema. It's almost like comparing it to like American cinema at times, but just talking about like how they do things and stuff. And of course, this is all subtitled. They're all speaking Italian, so you have to actually read this documentary. So some people might not be interested in it, but this was really good. You know, it's short though. I was a little disappointed with the length. I think this one was only about an hour long, which was surprising for a documentary. Because, I mean, theoretically, you could have a really long documentary if you're just going to interview multiple famous Italian directors. This was fun, though. I enjoyed it. Next up here is one of my favorite releases of 2014, hands down, and that is Toe Tag's newly remastered edition of The Red Sin Tower. Now, this is just fucking an amazing release, man. Like, 5 discs. You know, I've showed this in my best of 2014 video. 5 discs, an insane amount of features on here. It's just crazy. I haven't really tackled too much of them yet, But I have to say, you know, I watched the film, and oh man, this movie kicks fucking ass. It's by far my favorite toe tag movie. Oh, it's just so amazing, people. You need to run out and grab this. This is so worth the money. Awesome stuff. And last up for the DVDs here, I grabbed the new Necrostorm release, and that is Judy. Yes, Judy. Now this one is completely different. If you're not familiar with, you know, releases by Necrostorm, their shit's kind of like almost cartoony, comic book, over the top type gore, like ridiculous films that are so much fucking fun. Very, very original too. But this one right here is completely the opposite. This one is very straightforward, kind of slow burn type film about this girl getting stalked by this fucking almost mime. And Judy is actually, well, I'm not gonna ruin anything, but I can't really say anything about this one. This is a really hard film to actually review without spoiling anything. But this is really kind of, you know, it's very ominous, and it's kind of slow, and it's creepy as fuck, man. This movie was fantastic. I really enjoyed this, man. I can see why this was all over Horseball's award show. Another film I wish I had seen before the year 2014 was up, because it would have made my list too. I don't know what these films would have been bumping off, but this was awesome. It's definitely not for everybody. I can see why some people didn't enjoy this, especially if you were expecting something like a, you know, a Tater City or an Adam Chaplin, or, you know, along those lines, you know. But I don't know, man. I think that this one just really worked, and I'm glad that they tried something new, you know, released something different, you know. So, I don't know, Judy, I highly, highly fucking recommend this, man. You know, it's definitely, like I said, not like Inferno Hotel or Hotel Inferno, and, what did I say? That backwards? Ooh, wow. You know, Hotel Inferno and, you know, Tater City. Definitely not like those, or Adam Chaplin. So, but yeah, this is fucking fantastic. I highly recommend it, so. But yeah, so that's going to do it for the DVD portion. Let's move along to the Blu-rays. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, let's get into this Blu-ray action. But first, of course, we got to take another sip of this delicious IPA by Alexander Keys. Yeah. That's really good. Okay, first up from Code Red. And of course, I had to get these from Diabolic. And this is a movie I've been wanting to see for a long time. Now, I missed the original DVD when it came out, went out of print. It was going for stupid money. I just never wanted to pay like $30 for the DVD, man. But they reissued this in a 40th anniversary special edition, and that's Messiah of Evil. Really stoked. I haven't opened this yet. I've been just kind of waiting for it. You know, I don't know. I don't know why I haven't watched this. I really want to watch it so bad. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. But yeah, finally got around to getting this, and I don't know, I haven't really heard anyone talk about the transfer, but I hope it's good. I mean, I think some of the Code Red Blu-ray transfers are actually getting a lot better with some of the newer releases. I think Bill might be taking it to heart or something. Some of his earlier ones were just complete shit, but they're not actually, you know, not too bad. So Messiah of Evil, really, really stoked to check that out. And another Code Red release here, which is a film that I'd never even fucking heard of. Now, this is why I love, you know, I have a love-hate relationship with Code Red. I really don't like how it's run, but I will admit that I love the titles that are released by Bill. He releases a lot of good obscurities, and this is definitely one of them. I think this is from like I think it's from 1980 or 81 or something like that. I think it's 81, and it's called Lady Stay Dead. Now, this is a great type of exploitation type film from Australia. Basically about this guy right here. He's like a landscaper for this girl right here. She's like a famous singer, actress type deal. But he's fucking obsessed with her. He's like totally obsessed with her. And I don't want to give anything else away. That's all I'm going to say about the movie. But anyways, it's one of those type films. Really good, man. It's got some pretty bleak moments in it too. And it kept me entertained through all the film. It's not like fantastic, But I thought there was good performances, some pretty good cinematography. It kept me intrigued throughout the film. But, you know, even the transfer wasn't bad. You know, it's not like a fucking Arrow or Scream Factory or Synapse Blu-ray transfer. But it is definitely, you know, decent quality. You know, there's still some blemishes here and there. But I do recommend this one. This was pretty cool. I'm glad I actually got my hands on this one because I love seeing releases like this that I've never even heard of. Just one that I've oddly never heard of. Next up here from Vinegar Syndrome, I finally got around to picking this up. I got it on Amazon actually for a decent price. It was only 16 bucks, I think, or something like that. And it usually goes for like 28 on Amazon.ca. Our prices are fucking stupid up here. And that is Raw Force. Now I have to say, this movie is fucking batshit retarded, man. It's so crazy. Oh man, I had so much fun with this. I don't even want to try and get into the plot of this one, but it has so much crazy shit going on. I love the description on the back. It actually says it best. Edward Murphy's Raw Force is a virtual smorgasbord of over-the-top sleaze, mixing zombies, cannibals, outrageous action, gore, copious amounts of nudity, and starring great exploitation greats. Cameron Mitchell's in this, Vic Diaz. Like, oh, fuck, man. It's just so funny. I can't believe that there's some people that don't care for this film. It was so much fun. It's just stupid fun, man. I highly, highly recommend this movie. Raw Force, pick this up. Fun shit. Alright, so the next couple here are from Raro Video. I showed this one off in an unboxing, and that is, I'm not even going to attempt it. Well, maybe I will. Umblado Terzani Horror Show. That's actually the name of the film. This is actually like a more contemporary film that Raro's released. They don't release a whole lot of these, but very cool to see something contemporary. I'm looking forward to checking this one out. It has a pretty cool premise to it, so interesting. Then, of course, I showed this one off too, with The Long Hair of Death, which I actually watched, and it's fantastic. It's a slow burn, but great gothic horror. Of course, black and white, you know, it's about witches and, you know, coming back to life, and, you know, has that type of storyline. Really, it was an interesting film. You know, I thought it was fantastic. Barbara Steele was awesome. The girl that played her sister in this film was fantastic too. The Count was awesome in this. Really good stuff though. Just cinematography and score and just, oh man, I love films like this. Long Hair of Death, definitely check it out. Great stuff. And then last stuff from Arrow. I also grabbed Werewolf Woman. Yeah, I haven't watched this one yet, but I've heard this one is just, it's not really the greatest, but, you know, it's got a lot of 70s muff in it, so I need to check that out. I love my 70s muff. I've been watching a lot of movies lately with so much fucking muff. I don't know what it is about the movie choices, but I've been seeing a lot of huge bushes. Werewolf Woman, yeah, looking forward to that. Looks, I think it's Spanish. And I showed this one off in the unboxing too, and that's Iguana by Monty Hellman. Disappointed that the slipcover didn't come with it because, you know, I generally don't care too much, but with Raro, the slipcovers are different from the cover art, so it actually kind of makes sense. And it was weird because this one just came out, and fucking slipcovers, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to checking out Iguana. It sounds interesting. Next up here from Scream Factory is one I was not overly stoked to grab, but, you know, me with my Scream Factors, I always have to grab them. And that is Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh. You know, it's definitely, you know, not as good as the first one, but it's far better than the third one, so it literally sits in the middle. I haven't checked out the transfer on this yet, so I can't really comment on that, but it's an okay film. It's definitely enjoyable, but just another odd release by Scream Factory because it's part 2. Fuck. And this one right here, I just, oh my god, this movie's, I don't know what it is about this movie, I don't find it very good at all. I know some people kind of enjoy it, but it's a fucking mess. Even the special features kind of get into it a little bit. And that's Supernova, another odd choice by Scream Factory to release because it's not a horror film at all. You know, it's sci-fi, fucking spacey. I don't know, man. I really don't care for this movie at all. Yeah. Next up here is what I fucking wish I had seen before the year 2014 was up also. And that is Kevin Smith's Tusk. Oh, what can I say about this movie that hasn't been said already? This was very, very enjoyable. Really fun shit, man. Really stupid fucking premise, but I like the whole podcasting thing. And how like this movie actually developed and whatnot. Yeah, no, great performance. I thought Justin Long was, good in it. And it just killed me to see Haley Joel Osment. He looks so fucking fat in this movie to me. I guess it's because I haven't seen him in a long time. He's all grown up, but he just looked fat. I don't know, it was weird. And of course, there's a cameo in here, which is a little bigger than a cameo. I think most people know it's Johnny Depp. But yeah, this was a fun film, man. I thought the premise was just awesome. I really liked the writing in it too. The dialogue, everything about this film was fantastic. It just didn't disappoint me at all. I think Kevin Smith really should keep making movies like this because he has something here. So looking forward to his anthology film or Christmas film or whatever he's doing. Hopefully it comes out this year. Just want to say, big shout out to Ryan Nicholson for sending me this. I had a problem with an order that didn't come in for like a fucking year. And it finally came in, but he said he was going to send me this, because I had to wait for my order and stuff like that. So he sent me the Blu-ray of Famine. Limited to 50, which is number 43. I thought these were long gone, to be honest. I can't even believe that they still had some at Plot Digger, but yeah, I was really stoked to get this because I didn't actually have this, or I hadn't seen it, but I did watch it. Now, I've heard from a lot of people, it's not their favorite Ryan Nicholson film. It's not mine either, but I liked it a lot more than other people did. I thought it was actually pretty good. I liked the whole setting in the school. Some of the kills were fun. The characters were stupid, but entertaining. I actually really enjoyed this. And I know I've heard some people say that it was surprising that there was like really no nudity in this film. Yeah, it was surprising actually to see, considering some of the fucking chicks that were in this. But I enjoyed it though. I thought it was really good. Really fun stuff. I know my boy Jeremy really didn't care for it, but Famine, I had fun with it. It was definitely gorier than people were saying. They were saying it wasn't that gory for Kevin Smith, for a Ryan Nicholson film. But I have to, I beg to differ, man. I thought it was decent. Just an upgrade for me, which I don't do a whole lot of upgrading, but I have an old Snapper Case edition of this film, and I'm like, seriously, I have to upgrade this fucking movie, and that is Poltergeist. I did watch this Blu-ray. I think it looks actually really good on Blu-ray. And upon watching this film, I hadn't seen it in years. I really enjoyed it, man. It's a good film. It really is good, but you can see Spielberg all over this. It's just, this movie doesn't have any Tobe Hooper to it, in my opinion. Like, I can't see any Tobe Hooper up until this point in Tobe Hooper's career, and even after. Like, it's just, this one kind of really sticks out as a Tobe Hooper film. I don't know, man. But fun film, man. It's such a shame that the little girl died shortly after this film because she had some kind of weird undiagnosed disease or something like that. But yeah, this is it's still a good film. The clown is creepy as fuck. It really is. Next up here is from Cult Epics, and I bit the bullet on this. I showed this in my vlog video. I actually went back because I realized I had some points at HMV that I could use. And this was $25, but I ended up getting 13 off it, so I ended up paying $12 for this, which I thought was good, because I have a feeling this is just going to go out of print, and then I'm going to want it really bad, and that is Deathbed. Now, the story behind this movie is actually really intriguing, about how the director made this film, he tried to sell it, never got picked up. Then years later, he found out it was being bootlegged in the UK, then it started to get some buzz, and then he randomly checked up on the internet one time, and some people were talking about the film, shopped it around some more, Cult Epics picked it up, and bam, we've got the Blu-ray. This is a really fucking weird film about a killer bed. Basically, in the middle of nowhere, it's in this castle. People go to this castle, passing through, whatever, set up shop, have sex on the bed, eat food, and they ultimately succumb to their death from this bed. It's fucking weird. It's got a really weird voiceover kind of narrative style. It's really intriguing. I definitely enjoyed this movie a lot more than JP did. He reviewed it on the podcast. I thought this was fucking really, really unique cinema, and I highly enjoyed this film. It was just something I'd never seen before. It was really weird. I don't know, the effects, it's not even that great. There's even, like, some of the editing's kind of funny in it too. But wow, did I ever enjoy this movie. Great stuff. Pick up Deathbed if you can. I enjoyed it. Next up here is an action-packed double feature featuring Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, and Race with the Devil. I picked this up for Race with the Devil. I watched both movies. Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry is a heist film with Susan George is in it, Peter Fonda, basically rip off this grocery store. They're on the road, running from the cops the whole film. It's one of those type of movies. Really fucking great film. Awesome fucking ending. The ending kicks ass in this film. It's so good. And Race with the Devil, just a classic piece of road horror. It really is awesome. I did a full review on Body Bag, so you want to know more about that. But again, with a fucking spectacular ending. Both these movies have, this should be called the action-packed double best ending feature. Really great stuff. The transfers are awesome on here too from Shout Factory. Can't recommend it enough, man. It's, just good stuff, man. I got this for super cheap too. Check it out. Another one from Shout Factory that I had to pick up, and I paid way too much for it because I had to do it for the podcast. And that is A Boy and His Dog. This is a post-apocalyptic film with Don Johnson, and the dog is just, it steals the show in this movie. He's got this telepathic bond with his dog. He can talk to it, and the dog is just a wisecracking little motherfucker in this, and Don Johnson plays kind of a dirtbag. He's post-apocalyptic, so he's going around, he's trying to get pussy, he's like raping women and doing all this weird shit. And then halfway through the film, it has like a total switch. They end up underground, and it just totally switches tones, everything. It's fucking bizarre film, man. I enjoyed it. I'll talk about more on the podcast. We'll get into it more. You can hear the other guys' thoughts on it too. But this is definitely worth the pickup. Probably one of the most interesting post-apocalyptic films I've ever seen. Weird. Really, really fucking weird film. And last up here is one I showed in an unboxing too, which Jeremy sent me just as a throw-in, is Revenge of the Nerds. What can I say? Thought I'd show it because I actually put it into a Blu-ray case, but that's Revenge of the Nerds. I actually do have the older DVD box set with all the films in it. But yeah, this is really cool to have though too. So Revenge of the Nerds, yeah. And that is going to do it for the update. I have no idea how long this update is because I recorded this in parts all at once, but just kept stopping the camera because I can only record 30 minutes at a time. So, but anyways, guys, that's going to do it for my January 2015 update. I guarantee that I will not have that much stuff by my February update. I'm really not buying a whole lot this month because there's just a bunch of newer releases that I want to pick up, and they're more expensive, and I'm just not really going to buy a lot until I get back from Wasteland. I've made up my mind, February, March, I'm not going to pick up a lot. And then unfortunately, I think in April or something like that, or April or May, there's like 8 Scream Factory releases coming out. Actually, in the next like 3 months, I think there's like 15 Scream Factory releases, which is just, my God, they're releasing stuff way too fast. They gotta let people catch up. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for the updates. And of course, peace.